Hi guys, welcome back again to Vanz channel. Today, I will continue the request to recommend playable games on Winlator, and this time, I will share the top 40 best games that you can play smoothly and stably on devices that have a Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset. Snapdragon Dragon 8 Elite is the strongest chipset from Qualcomm currently, and has an Antutu score of up to 2.8 million. However, some games that depend on the use of Turnip and DX12 will not be playable on this chipset, because the Turnip driver is not yet available for Adreno 830. You can only use the Vortec driver, the wrapper in Winlator Bionic, and the system driver from 8 Elite. Okay folks, no more talking. Let's begin. First, Rage 2. Not only does it have stunning graphics, but games also run very well on this processor. Use Winlator Bionic by Ludashi or Vortec to ensure games run smoothly on this chipset. 2. The Division. Tom Clancy's The Division is a third-person shooter with RPG elements set in a post-apocalyptic New York City. It features a focus on cover-based combat, loot collection, and cooperative gameplay. The game itself is running very well, up to 60 FPS. 3. Assassin's Creed Unity. By using the Vortec driver, you can play this great game smoothly, above 30 FPS. Sometimes you will get higher FPS in certain conditions or when it is not crowded. 4. Assassin's Creed Revelations. Revelations is an Assassin's Creed series that is very light when played on a WinLab. Using the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, you will definitely get performance above 60 FPS. 5. Resident Evil 3 Remake. Not only does it run successfully on the Vortec driver, you can also run this game on Winlator Bionic using the system driver or the one specifically for Adreno 830. This game also runs well on this chipset. 6. Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5 also runs well when using Winlator Bionic or the Vortec driver. For Vortec, please use DXVK 1.7.3 or the recommended version below to improve performance. 7. Daymare 1994 Sandcastle is a survival horror prequel to Daymare 1998, drawing inspiration from classic titles like Resident Evil. While it offers a compelling experience with a focus on classic survival mechanics, challenging puzzles, and exploration. 8. Baldur's Gate 3. Finally, this highly acclaimed game, which won the Game of the Year award last year, can now be played on Android devices with the Elite 8 chipset. The game can also run at 30 FPS. 9. No Man's Sky. In fact, this game can be played not only on Winlator Bionic. Some drivers, such as those specifically for the Snapdragon 8 Elite, can also run it. Use the appropriate DXVK for your driver. 10. Virtua Fighter 5 R.E.V.O. Virtua Fighter 5 R.E.V.O. is known for its deep, technical combat system with a focus on precise inputs and character mastery. The game is running very well on this chipset now. 11. Kena Bridge of Spirits. Not only does this game have engaging gameplay, but it also offers stunning visuals. Using the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, you can run this game at up to 50 FPS. 12. Silent Hill 2 Remake. This is a remake of the classic Silent Hill 2. The game is playable, especially with the Vortec driver. Use the appropriate settings in the preset profile to maximize FPS performance. 13. The Outer Worlds. Using the latest Winlator or Bionic, this game now runs better on this chipset. I recommend using Vortec and DXVK, as suggested below, if you're using a Winlator other than Bionic. 14. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. The game features fast-paced, brutal combat with a variety of weapons and playstyles. Not only using Vortec driver, you can also run this game on Winlator. 15. A Plague Tale Innocent. If you want to run this game at above 30 FPS, adjust the settings for 64-bit in the Box 64 preset profile menu. This setting is specifically for maximizing performance in 64-bit games. 16. Control. Use the Vortec driver to run this game on your device. To stabilize performance, lower the game's graphics settings and set the appropriate preset profile in the Box 64 menu. 17. Far Cry 4. Using Winlator Bionic, Far Cry 4 will run almost flawlessly on this chipset. If you find the following performance isn't up to par, feel free to adjust the settings to your preferred settings. 18. Battlefield 3. To get the most out of Battlefield 3, I recommend lowering the graphics quality in the in-game settings. The preset menu in Box 64 can also improve performance. 19. Battlefield 4. This sequel to the previous Battlefield series actually has better FPS performance. Simply using Vortec or Bionic will make the game run very well. 20. Lies of P. This is one of the Souls-like games that is very heavy for the Snapdragon 8 Elite to play. Actually, this game can run with better FPS if this chipset is able to run Turnip driver. 21. The Evil Within. You can maximize this chipset's potential better if your settings match its performance. Please use the appropriate settings to run this game with better FPS. 22. Trepang 2. Trepang is a fast-paced, first-person shooter that draws heavy inspiration from the classic game Fear. Players take on the role of Subject 106, an amnesiac soldier with supernatural abilities, who embarks on a mission of revenge against a corporation responsible for unethical experiments. 23. Fallout 4. This is one of the best open-world games, and overall, mid-range and higher-end chipsets are playable. Use the appropriate driver and DXBK for your device. 24. Turbo Overkill. Turbo Overkill is a fast-paced, retro-inspired first-person shooter with a cyberpunk setting and over-the-top action. With correct settings, you'll be able to play this game up to 50 FPS. 25. Stray. The game is praised for its unique perspective, engaging story, and charming protagonist, though some find its controls or puzzle elements less compelling. This game also can run at 30 FPS above. 26. Dying Light. Dying Light is a survival horror game widely played by WinLab users. Don't forget to use the drivers recommended below to ensure the game runs smoothly. 27. Doom. Doom is a phenomenal game released in 2016. It also runs well on Winlator using the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Be sure to play this game using the Vortec driver or the Winlator Bionic. 28. Ghostrunner 2. Ghostrunner 2 is a worthy successor to the original, offering a refined and expanded experience that builds upon the core gameplay elements while introducing new and exciting features. This game also runs on this chipset perfectly. 29. Sekiro Shadow of Die Twices. Sekiro is the best and most challenging Souls-like game. With the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, you don't need to worry about performance as long as you use the right settings for your device. 30. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. The latest car racing game in the series also runs well on this chipset. To slightly improve performance, use presets and manually edit them. Although a bit tedious, it's well worth it. 31. Bramble the Mountain King. Bramble the Mountain King is a visually impressive and atmospheric game that offers a unique and unsettling experience for those interested in dark fairy tales and folklore. 32. Mortal Kombat X. Besides the Mortal Kombat series, several other versions, such as MKXL, also run very stably on this chipset. You just need to use the Vortec and DXVK drivers as recommended below. 33. Days Gone. Days Gone is a fairly well-known zombie apocalypse survival game, and many people expect it to run very well on their devices. Now, with this chipset, everything runs very well. 34. Black Myth Wukong. This gameplay footage was taken from a Chinese YouTuber who managed to run this demanding game by forcing the Direct11 command in Wukong. The game also requires more than 24 gigabytes of RAM to run smoothly in-game. He using Red Magic 10S Pro. 35. Metro Exodus. One of the most engaging FPS shooters of its time. This game also runs very well with the Vortec or Bionic drivers. Use the appropriate settings for devices with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. 36. Mad Max. Mad Max is an open-world game you shouldn't miss. It not only offers stunning visuals, but also unique gameplay. Now, with the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, you can run this phenomenal game. 37. Final Fantasy XV. This is a AAA game developed by Square Enix. It runs quite well, but you'll occasionally experience a few milliseconds of FPS drop. If you have better settings, let us know in the comments. 38. Everspace 2. Compared to other flagship-class chipsets, Snapdragon 8 Elite is more capable of running this game with more stable FPS performance, without being recorded being able to get performance above 30 FPS. 39. Drift 3 Complete Edition. If you enjoy car racing games that focus on drifting, I highly recommend this game. Not only is it smooth and stable, but it also runs in HD resolution. Final list. Dying Light Stay Human. Dying Light 2. Stay Human is an open-world action RPG where players navigate a zombie-infested city, utilizing parkour and melee combat to survive. This game also very heavy, and only get below 30 FPS in battle condition. Okay folks, those are the top 40 playable games on the Winlator emulator using the current most powerful chipset, the Snapdragon 8 Elite. When using this chipset to play on Winlator, feel free to experiment with the settings, especially the drivers. On average, games using this chipset run well at HD resolution, but for some demanding games, you'll need to disable in-game settings like shadows and textures, which can result in unstable gameplay. If you're playing a 64-bit game, to increase the FPS performance, you'll need to adjust the preset profile in the Box 64 menu, or you can also use the performance preset. Okay guys, if you think this video useful, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to Vanzi channel. Okay, I will see you in the next episode. Bye.